So today's job is to laser cut a gift for a friend. Somebody I knew when I was growing up. So we actually both went to see Star Wars together when it first came out in the early 80s. And so he's still quite into Star Wars. So I thought I'd make him an X-wing and a TIE fighter kit. So I've downloaded the file from Thingiverse, and then what I do is I've loaded the file from Thingiverse into Inkscape, which is free software. Now if I just zoom in a little bit so you can see a bit better. So the software that I use for laser engraving requires red for a cut and black for a vector engraving. So that's for just etching something in. Once I'm happy with the file, it's saved as a SVG, which is a vector format. I then load it into some software called K40 Whisperer. And again, you can see that we've got two colours here. We've got the black and the red. So K40 Whisperer is a nice bit of software that allows you to talk to a K40 laser, funnily enough, which is what I've got here. It's basically the cheapest desktop laser you can buy that's actually got a case. So it's quite useful for doing small scale modelling and project cases and things like that. So it's got three possible options. You can do raster engraving, vector engraving and vector cut. So we'll be doing a raster engrave, which is the black, and a vector cut, which is the red. And looks like my camera's struggling. So this is my setup. I've just got the laptop. I've got a bucket full of water, distilled water, has actually got a bit of antifreeze in it. There's a pond pump, which is, I've actually got a thermometer there to monitor the cooling water. So the laser is water cooled. If you can see at the back, I've got an extractor which goes all the way out there. So that takes all the fumes out. Basically there's a big laser tube along here. That's water cooled. It's a CO2 laser. And I've slightly modified this laser with this nozzle, so I basically blast air down this nozzle, but it also keeps the lens clear as well. So that's well worth doing. So that's just quite a small compressor to do that, like an airbrush compressor. As you can see, you get quite a lot of GAC coming out, so that's why we have an extractor, because we don't want to be breathing that in. So I'm using 3mm MDF for this. What I've done is I've set some nuts up just so that they are that basically sort of zeroes everything up. I'll just stop a second to put my got some proper safety glasses. I think these are made in Germany, so they're good quality glasses. Don't buy them from China because you've only got one set of eyes. So now I've got the wood in place, I need to test to see if it is actually in the right position. So obviously at the moment it's at 0, so what I'm going to do is just press the there's a laser test button here, so you can manually fire the laser. So I'm going to put my finger on that, and then I'll bring you a bit closer so you can see what happens. So that's the laser firing at the sort of top left. Now in K40 Whisperer, we've got a keypad here, which allows you to move to the bottom right, so we'll click that, and then you'll see we've moved down to the bottom right, so it looks like we're quite close to the edge there, so let's just double check. Yes, so we've just got enough wood there, so that's perfect. So what we can do now is close the lid. I'm going to switch the extraction on and switch the air assist on, and then we can set it off running. Okay, so that horrible noise is the air compressor. I'm not sure if you can see it in there. It does move around rather a lot, so as you can see, but it does make a big difference to the engraving quality. So what I'll do now is start off the raster engraving, which is this button. It does a bit of processing, and then it will start engraving. So just so you know, I've still got my laser glasses on. That will now, I'm not sure if you can see, that will start engraving. So you can see it's just going backwards and forwards. That's why it's called raster engraving. Vector engraving, actually, if you've got a diagonal line, it will go diagonally. But this just builds up a picture like a television screen used to. I'm not sure if you can see. It's just building up an image very slowly. So I'll let that run. It's quite slow in this mode, but you get a very nice result. So what we'll do is we'll leave that to run, and then I'll bring you back when it's finished. So as luck would have it, I just caught the very end of finishing the engraving. So you can see I've run the engraver a bit slower this time. This is at 200 millimeters per second. It's just etched a bit deeper, so I'm quite pleased with that. So the next job is to run the cutouts. So we'll kick that off and then I'll show you again. So back in K40 Whisperer, we're now moving down to vector cut. So I'll just click that. And you can hear it's now started. I'll bring you up. Not sure if you can see, but the extractor is actually pulling smoke underneath. Don't get quite so much overspray type effect. So that's going straight up on the outside. But I'm sure you can see there's still quite a bit in the enclosure as well. So it's a good idea to keep the enclosure closed. Just trim a little bit more. This is the output of the extractor, so you can see there's quite a lot of smoke coming out as it cuts. It doesn't smell particularly nice, so it's definitely worth having an extractor. So we've just caught it, just finishing off doing the outline round the outside. Go. So if I just bring you over to my temperature sensors, you can see that the cooling water has gone up quite a bit. So So really what I should do is I'll leave the pump running for the time being. Actually run it off a separate plug, so that will then carry on running through and cooling the laser tube back down to ambient temperature. I mean, it's not going to be stupidly hot. I mean, difference. It's only sort of a degree of difference in temperature, but we'll cycle it through for a minute and then leave it at that. So we're all engraved now. Quite pleased with how that's come out. The engraving's nice and crisp. You can see the letters and numbers. You can see the details, and we've got nice strong cut lines on all the parts. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with how that's come through. If I hold it up to the light, you can sort of see we've cut through nicely. So that's all done. So there you go. That's all done, and I just need to wrap it up. That's a little present for my friend Darren. Hope you enjoyed that. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment, or if you've got any questions, just let me know.